Today we are joined by our good friend Bien, a USC director, producer who is very passionate about the film industry and especially about financial literacy in the film industry. So thank you for joining us.
Of course, I'm happy to be here today.
Bien, how much money you want in the future?
I want to be comfortable.
Comfortable?
Like I want to be doing what I love, but like I don't want to have to worry about paparazzi and stuff.
You don't want to be famous?
It's weird because I want to be at like that point. I'm trying to think of like a good person. Maybe like Sean. What do you say, Sean Baker? Is that a point where he doesn't exactly get a lot of like press coverage, but at the same time he's known for being good what he is.
Indie filmmaker.
Yeah. Maybe like an indie filmmaker.
I love Sean Baker.
Yeah. Speaking of, because I was just watching the Florida Project.
That's my favorite movie.
What do you think?
Oh, I'm not done yet.
Oh, you haven't finished
I'm
yet?
not done yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the
so
end,
good.
something crazy happened. I'm not.
Something crazy does
Oh,
happen.
I got spoiled.
Oh, no.
I want to see how it plays out. Yeah.
Oh, such
Do you
a
think
fun-
Nolan's gonna win
yeah.
Best Picture?
I hope it's very seriously considered, and I'm glad it was nominated. But just based on the way the Academy works, I sincerely
Yeah.
You think so?
doubt it.
Yeah.
No.
True.
Me too. I hope it wins,
A
but
lot of
we'll see.
sex.
Wait, what?
No,
That's what you like, huh?
That I just pointed that out. I didn't say anything about that.
I'm a little upset that Dune 2, and especially Dennis, was
Didn't get
snubbed.
Best Director.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's okay. What would you want? An Oscar for Best Picture or $100 million?
Oh, Oscar for Best Picture. If I just wanted $100 million, I'd be in another field that makes a lot more money, right?
That's right.
That's true.
That's right. Yeah.
So if you do choose a field that isn't the big money maker, then what makes you so interested in the business and money side of things?
Well, it's especially because of that. The fact that I don't think filmmakers, or at least the vast majority of filmmakers, the 99%, don't make a lot of money, which is why I think that, they should be wise about how they spend it, save it, earn it, reinvest it, that kind of thing.
What are some keys you think to making a comfortable income and a comfortable financial system for you and your future family?
Well, I just want to preface it first by saying I'm 21. I haven't lived life like long enough, so I'm no expert at this, and I'm no financial advisor at the same time. But just a few years I've been alive, been an adult, been in college. I think I've learned a significant amount, enough that I think I should share and would want to share to other people, especially others in my field. And it's also stemmed from my desire to be a producer, working a lot with budgeting, financing, that kind of thing. But the core of it, and I know I'm getting a little bit technical here, but the core of it, I think, has to do with just basic life organizational, skills and things that even those who aren't filmmakers, regardless of what field you are in, should know, and a lot of college students should know.
What are some ways you learn, what are some sources and books or, channels that you look to get financial advice from?
I'm not so pretentious as to like read books about it yet. I'm still on the like YouTube side. I watch this guy named Humphrey Yang. He gives a lot of financial advice, and he does it all, out of the goodness of his heart. He's not like one of those scammers, pyramid scheme kind of people you see on Instagram, which is why I was just drawn to him.
Yeah.
There's this other guy.
You never know.
Well, I guess
He might have a course coming soon.
That's true. Money's gonna get tight. I think this other guy named Graham something.
Graham Stephan?
Yes, you know him?
Hey.
Iced Coffee Hour. I've been watching that guy for the last 6 years, dude.
So I also watch him for financial advice sometimes. So you just those are my sources, and then just kind of working through it on my own, finding what works for me. Do my own research sometimes, just talking to friends and family, people who've been in my position.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing.
Of course.
Do you have a lot of family who are into business and financial stuff?
My dad is a banker.
Okay.
But I'm not, it could be, it's in the genes. And my mom's an accountant. So,
Oh, wonderful.
Or she started off as an accountant. She was really good at math.
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't think I'm as good as her, but again, I guess it has to be the genes, right?
No, genes.
Oh, and I'm Asian, so.
Fair.
That too.
Genes play such a big role in someone's future. It really does. I don't know. What are some advice for your younger self?
My younger self, yeah.
Like, let's say freshman year BN, how would you?
If we were just going purely off of financial advice, I'd have a number of things. But at the same time, I don't regret the choices I made in freshman year. I was a little bit, more reckless with my money. But just coming into college, coming into this new lifestyle of like living alone for the first time, 6,000 plus miles away from home. I gave myself some wiggle room to spend, have fun. But if I want to truly be responsible, like my number one advice would have been to, start like a high yield savings account. I think my choice of high yield savings account, right, is I used Capital One, but there are multitude of good ones, Discover, Amex. I used Capital One because I know like I want to travel, and the current account I use and the current even credit card I use allow me to do so. I was able to finance my Italy trip just purely off of
That was awesome.
points.
Yeah, that's great.
But I did hear Capital One's being sued.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I heard. It's sued for
Like $6 billion or something.
something like that.
What is it, like fraud or something?
Like
Financial, whatever.
Yeah.
Intricate.
So maybe you'll
Yeah.
make some money off of that. So.
Oh, maybe, or maybe it means I should switch over.
Yeah, Bank of America's not bad. To be
Yeah.
honest.
Well,
Yeah.
Bank of America, I think they don't have a competitive savings or savings rate. What is it? APY. I think with like Discover, Capital One, they have an APY of like 3.7 right now, 3.8. When I first signed up, it was like 4.25% annually, right? Whereas like Bank of America, Chase, your normal savings account gives you like 0.03% interest. So even just like little things like that, knowing just even having access to that information would have helped me a lot freshman year, because if I had invested or just left $1,000 in my savings account, I would have had like a 4% return on that at the end of the year. So it's like what, $40.
How do you budget like per month though? Like, do you budget?
I do budget.
Okay.
And in complete transparency, it's something I just started to do at the beginning of my junior year, or a little towards the end of my sophomore year.
Like, what are some habits you picked up when it comes to budgeting?
I check how much like my income is, and I get an allowance from my parents too, but I also work some jobs on campus. So I kind of take my projected income and plus allowance and anything else, and how much I might make off of like side gigs or whatever. And then I'll kind of budget what I know I will spend on a monthly basis, whether that be like haircuts, Regal Unlimited Pass.
We're switching.
Or AMC.
Or AMC.
Or Alamo.
Or Alamo.
Bunch of options out there.
And then like grocery stuff.
Do you do like
just daily
percentage
necessities.
based thing?
No, I'll do like actual
Numbers.
amounts and
Yeah.
numbers. And then I want to make sure like I'll have a surplus at the end rather than a deficit. And then I'll have enough to like either put into my savings or invest in like my stock portfolio, which is currently pretty non-existent.
Same here.
What do you invest with?
I think right now all my money in my portfolio is in the S&P 500, and I use Fidelity for that.
Okay. What made you pick Fidelity?
Fidelity. So for those who don't know what Fidelity is, it's sort of like a brokerage system that allows you to trade in increments rather than like full stocks. So you wouldn't have to purchase one full stock in order to be, you could get like a half stock. But like the good thing about Fidelity is it allows you to invest in what we call ETFs or mutual funds, and the S&P 500 kind of tracks the entire stock market. So you're investing a little in the top 500 companies in the market. So that includes like the big 7, like Apple, Microsoft. So that way, you'll have the security of no matter what, or almost no matter what, because the market usually rises, that your stocks will rise with it. And usually has like a compound rate of 12%.
Yeah.
So that's another good way to get into it. And just leave your money in there, check in like 30, 40 years when you're about to retire, or when you're about to invest in like a huge feature, that thing, and pull it out. And then
So you invest for the long term. Okay.
Yes, you do invest for the long term. You can do like day trading, it's a lot riskier. It's
Yeah,
one of these
Yeah,
strategies.
yeah, you're
I
spending
wouldn't
all day
advise-
just
yeah.
in front of that. Yeah.
That's a job in and of itself. So I
Mhm.
definitely wouldn't recommend that to the average student, and especially filmmaker. But
Speaking of film, I mean, how do you translate all these skills into, filmmaking? 'Cause that's a large part
yeah,
of filming, especially indies. A lot of people are money is a big part of it.
Definitely.
Not everyone has, Warner Bros. Funding their feature and make a studio picture. A lot of it is independent.
Yeah.
So how do you go about, or what have you learned about that part of filmmaking, which is the financial side?
yeah. I mean, so that financial part of it's like one of those life skills that's transferable across careers. I would say, was it a soft skill? It's a soft skill, definitely, right? And I think when it comes to filmmaking, it's most practiced as a producer or financier, and it just helps to be able to know your way around money and financing and budgeting, making sure that everything's allocated correctly. You're not, over allocating to a specific department. You're not wasting money on a subscription you don't necessarily need. And I think it's good for producers to know that. I mean, not just producers, for everyone as well.
Directors as
right?
well,
Regardless.
How much do you spend a month on subscriptions?
Let me think.
Have you seen those ads? Like
I've seen those ads. Yeah,
Oh, like
yeah.
Rocket, yeah.
In the podcast too, in the podcast format. Yeah.
I think the bulk majority of subscriptions, like when it comes to like streaming and stuff, my parents pay for.
Oh, I see. You don't have to count those then.
Yes, I don't count. The only thing I think I pay for is was my Regal subscription. Or actually, I was subscribed to Artlist, but I'm still subscribed to Shot Deck. I think
Me
both
too.
are useful tools for filmmakers.
I'm on someone else's account. I've
Hey,
been on it for a bit.
Hey,
So
whatever
I
you can
can
do.
watch it. Whatever you can do, yeah.
If it works, it works.
You don't use DoorDash Pass, no.
I was on Uber One for a
Yeah.
minute.
Oh, I was on it
I think
too,
I
for
had
a
the
bit.
annual pass.
Oh,
I might still have it, but I'm working on
Got it.
in the spirit of budgeting and keeping track of my life. I'm working on like food prep, cooking
Good.
for myself.
Yeah.
But every once in a while,
Yeah.
I'll be happy to treat myself out.
What about ChatGPT?
ChatGPT.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm not
OpenAI.
subscribed to that. Although I know that both the plus and premium versions allow you to.
There's a $200 version
Uh-huh.
a month. Yeah.
Are you guys subscribed to that?
I have the 20.
I have
one.
20 as well.
Yeah.
And how's it going? Tree?
It's pretty useful, I'd
They
say. I
really
mean, I feel like without it, there's some limitations with it that sometimes really gets to me. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I use it pretty often now, so it feels like a worthy investment. Yeah.
It gets a lot of ideas flowing,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't really try to take anything directly, but it's like it gets me thinking about things I might have forgot or might have missed out on thinking about. Talk about like food prepping though.
Food prepping.
I'm curious, how do you go about food prepping at college?
I usually just food prep for the day or the next day.
Yeah.
And I'll buy I'll get my groceries at Trader Joe's. If I'm with friends, we'll go to Ralph's, and then buy there. And then most of the time, I'll spend the night before, because I'm a night owl. Like if I'm gonna be up anyway, I might as well do something productive, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I know that I'm not waking up early like Jiayang to prep my stuff. So
Yeah.
I'll cook the night before, and then I have my Tupperware containers. I'll cook enough rice to last for the next day, and so and my protein, get my calories and my macros.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Do you track that stuff?
No,
Nah,
I really should.
I used to. I
Yeah.
used to have this app that tracked, but it took a lot of time and dedication to just minutiae of
My Fitness Pal.
different.
Is that what you
I
use?
think it was Lifesum, wherever. I used it in high school for one semester. I was I was spending way too much time just trying to figure all that out. So.
Maybe it'd be a good incentive if we were sponsored.
Yeah.
Hey,
There's a lot of companies we would love to work with, but it's okay. We'll figure
One
that
day.
out later.
one day.
I mean, Richard, for you, I mean, how do you budget?
I do. I just use a little tracker.
What app do you use?
I just use Notion.
Wow,
I have a
Notion.
template. Yeah.
You gotta share that template with me.
Yeah, it's something I found online for free. It just worked for me. It keeps me. This is something my dad does as well. He's really, really not adamant, but he's really strict with himself in terms of tracking everything. He does this at the end of every week, and that's something I've picked up since junior year, I want to say. Every week, every Sunday, I just see how much I spent, how much I earned, ways I can sort of adjust that and then build better financial habits. And I started cooking way more late junior year, and then now I basically have like a plan every week so that I can.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you plan out your food every week?
Oh man, just like again every Sunday.
Sunday?
I just kind of think about what I want to eat.
Wow.
And just go like
Make a menu for yourself.
Yeah, and I do a run. I just spend like 1 hour, sometimes it's 2 hours. I just literally I go to Trader Joe's, drive to Trader Joe's, drive back to Ralph's, and if I need more, I go to K-Town.
That's amazing.
Get everything I need, throw it in the fridge, and then I'm basically set for
That's so
for that week.
Yeah.
And I don't cook like fancy. I try to keep it pretty simple.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But then every once in a while, I cook some Chinese food that takes hours.
Hell yeah.
But it tastes good. So
Well, you should come over to cook. So.
Hey, I'd be down. Yeah,
let
you guys
us
have more
enjoy
space
it
here
too.
too.
You
Yeah,
gotta do some dinner parties together.
yeah, that'd be
you know?
cool.
for
That'd be cool. But yeah, I mean, that's such a huge part of it too. Like,
Oh my god, you save so much money when you cook.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And it's healthier. It's healthy for you. It's also a good. I kind of treat cooking as like almost therapy in a way.
Right.
I just
That's
go
good.
about it like, okay, I'm putting pieces together. It's quiet. Sometimes it can feel a little bit urgent. If I have something like within the next hour and I'm still cooking like class or something, it can feel a little bit urgent. But other than that, I've been told that it's very similar to filmmaking in the sense that it's different departments. You're pulling it together, even though you're kind of doing it all by yourself. But you got to put the right things in the right place at the right time for it all to work together. Yeah.
I wanted to know how do you manage to carve out time for yourself amongst your busy schedule? Like, I know you're also a very accomplished producer, filmmaker yourself, and you're taking up a lot of like internships and stuff. How do you carve out that time for yourself?
Oh man, I think for me, I really enjoy, and this is something I've been doing I think since high school, which I found helpful, is to just block time out on my calendar and like see what I can do within 2 hours, 3 hours, have maybe a break between class and see what I can do during those time. And then I do it sort of the day before, so I know like what I'm doing. Like today's Friday, I know what to do tomorrow, and then on Monday at the end of the day I kind of schedule everything for the next day. Obviously it doesn't always pan out the way I want to. Like if I want to study for 2 hours and then by the end of 2 hours I learn nothing, I'll have to like sort of figure something out. But usually it gives me a good idea of like how much time I'm spending on everything. And then other than that, this is something I'm actually struggling with, is prioritization. A lot of times I think I can get caught up in like really small sort of menial tasks, and instead of focusing on like bigger tasks. So I think that's something I'm proactively trying to work on, like write down like the top 3-4 things that I need to get done today and just get on top of it. So I know Jiayang has a lot to contribute to this topic. He's very
Oh shit. Okay.
into
I mean,
productivity
I
and
think
everything.
advice I would give is having your to-do list as a calendar instead of a list, because then it's like you're spending time allocating your time to doing the thing. Like the opposite of what's it called, distraction is traction. Is not focus, and it means you have to know exactly where you're going with your day to actually not be distracted. Because if you're not blocking out a time to do something, being on your phone isn't a direct distraction, because what is it distracting you from doing, right? So I think I'm a huge believer in like blocking out and just like organizing your calendar on exactly what to spend your time doing.
And use your iPhone screen time like limit restriction.
I use
on
so
that
many
too.
different limits. It's not helping.
I know. I could
Same. I've tried so many different apps. And then
Opal.
after Opal, I've been using Opal right now, and like after a week or two, I think I get so used to like the whole process of like taking a break and everything that it's like automatic. It just adds another layer of like maybe 12 seconds of like block timers. But I try to work actively about it.
There's this app called 1 Sec where it makes you breathe for like 10 seconds
Yeah.
before. And every time I go to a networking event, I'm like, hold on.
Yeah, right. I have
Look
to
at your
disable
Instagram.
it first, and then and then
It's
go about
annoying.
it.
Why does
Yeah.
it make like a huge like ringing noise or something?
No, it's just okay, let me grab your Instagram, and you open Instagram, and it does this thing where it goes from bottom to up
Yeah.
for like 10 seconds. You're just like, hold on, like there's something going on with that film. It's happened to me like several times.
Yeah.
Like,
So, but I saw a thing on Instagram, and if the CEO of this wants to come on the podcast, hit me up. But I'm thinking about getting one of those bricks.
oh, I saw those.
It's like this little device where you put somewhere, and it's like a physical thing. You tap your phone on it, and it disables all these apps. And the only way to get these apps again is to tap on the physical thing again.
There you go.
Right? So it's like you can't just click a button on your phone and bypass it. You actually have to physically do it.
Does it have to be the exact same model? Like, what if you lose that or it breaks? Are you screwed?
Yeah, you
Ooh.
can use another model, I'm
Okay.
sure.
Maybe, yeah.
But
That's a smart way to go about it.
right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've seen it.
Maybe I'll wait until Richard gets in.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Wait, Bien, tell me a little bit about your career in film. Actually, like how did you get into it, and where you want to go?
I think one of my earliest memories, like, you know how when you close your eyes and you try to comb back to the first memory you can remember, was me sitting on a couch watching Kung Fu Panda.
No way.
I think so. I think my love for filmmaking started, or it really started to like pop to the surface in middle school. I think 7th grade. Although I'd had like it's a very obscure YouTube channel that no one ever is gonna find, and I'm never gonna disclose. But I started like editing on iMovie back then, and you know, filming and taking initiative to create these like small YouTube videos, of like me doing like. I was inspired by this guy named EvanTube HD.
Yeah.
If you guys,
I watched his Lego videos.
yeah, yes, I would do like Lego unboxing videos,
Nice.
Nerf videos, or whatever, and like, and then I do like some like vlog style videos. I think the most I'd ever gotten was like 2.6K on like some
That's pretty good.
hot springs video. But
Yeah.
so that's kind of how like my videography or my introduction to media started. But it wasn't until middle school I took this video production class. I remember very distinctly. My teacher's name was Mr. Thiessen. He was the basketball coach and the middle school counselor and the video production like teacher, right? And we shot on, I don't even know what those are called, but definitely like camcorders, right?
Yeah.
Super like old school. I'm sure at that point iPhones would have been better, but we shot on those ones, and we'd make like 30-second to 2-minute clips, and all of them are like really cliche suspense film where there's like the record scratch at the end and like some plot twist, right? So super cheesy.
It's all a dream.
Yeah, it's all a dream kind of stuff. And then, but that was my introduction to Adobe, where I kind of took a step up from iMovie, and then I continued my passion. 8th grade, I tried my hand at acting. It wasn't for me. I'm not the best actor. Full disclosure. And then I decided, like, you know what? I'd rather just stay behind the camera. So high school, I took a film class, like a real film, I think it was called Film, VFX, and something, animation class, with my teacher, Mr. Craven. He was Canadian. I have a very fond memory of Mr. Craven. I think he took a liking to me, and one of my friends from the swim team, we decided to make like a short trailer at the pool together. And that was like, wow, that's cool. We're filming at a pool. We're gonna do some shots from inside the water. There's gonna be fire. It's gonna be lit. And like we got a lot of praise for that, and that kind of boosted my ego. And I was like, hey, I like that people were happy with what I made. And then I knew from then, like, what if I keep doing this?
Yeah.
For the next 3 years in high school. So I took like an advanced project class where Mr. Craven was kind enough to let me like do my own thing the entire semester, as long as it's related to film, and he'd check in from time to time. But I would basically just build my own course for myself. So that gave me the free time to find out what I love and what I was passionate about. I got into post-production, although I didn't know it was called that back then. I just thought it was like editing. So After Effects. I used to watch this guy called Film Riot.
Oh, same.
Ryan Connolly.
Please come on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Please come on.
Yeah, the OG GOAT. Eventually, I made this music video using like accumulation of all the skills I'd learned in VFX. I'd learned, whether that be like the Quicksilver effect, like a duplication effect, like the Shazam's transformation effect, like a Earth zoom effect.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I thought that was pretty cool. And I made that to music video. And then I discovered that we had like a regional film festival. So I submitted a couple of stuff there. Didn't really win. I got like silvers and bronze. But then that gave me a new goal to eventually get a gold. So I think this was either sophomore or junior year at this point. But I just started IB, and I had to start to think about what colleges I wanted to apply to. But I knew for sure still at that point that I wanted to do film. I hadn't really told my parents, and I'm sure as you guys know, like going a pretty non-traditional route with Asian parents is a kind of tough topic to bring up for discussion. So I hid it from them like a little bit while I continued to make more films. In another film class, I took a film 2 class that they built just for me. I was the only kid in that class, and I took it with the other film 1 kids. And similar to like the previous year, the teacher, and she was new. Her name was Miss Sowers. I have a very fond memory of all my film teachers because they all helped me get to this point. But yeah, so she kind of also let me do my own thing, craft my own films, and as long as I was, was giving her like deliverables, assignments, and making sure I got a grade. And I decided to like make my 5-minute short for application, or it's a 4-minute short for application.
5.
Was it 5 back then? Okay, then 5 minute. I know it's changed now, right?
I think it's 2 minutes now.
Yeah.
Crazy. No, one of my friends, they shot a movie that they thought it was 5 minutes, and they looked at the thing again. It was like 2 minutes. So they had to
so sad.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then I actually submitted that for college. USC, UCLA, NYU. I'd done some research, and by that point I'd talked to my parents about what I wanted to do.
And they were supportive.
Yeah, they were supportive. I think as long as they wanted me to apply to Harvard.
Did you?
But I didn't. I convinced them. Or I don't know if they were fully convinced, but I managed to convince them that like applying for Harvard, at least for me, wouldn't be beneficial at all. I didn't want to waste time.
Yeah.
Or applications with, and I decided that I would shoot for the top film schools in the U.S. So that's USC, UCLA, and NYU. My top was USC, followed by UCLA and NYU.
What was the record?
I took 2 L's, and obviously I'm here at USC, so.
There you go. Yeah. The one that mattered,
Yeah, the one that mattered. And I also applied to a couple other film schools, LMU, Chapman, Emerson, SD, although SD is more like a film studies program.
UCSD?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get in?
I did.
Cool.
And I was prepared to go there after being rejected by NYU and UCLA, and then I'd been waitlisted to Chapman and LMU. And I've been rejected by UCSB for communications.
Do you regret anything with your choice to USC, or do you think USC was the best decision ever?
I think as a person, I definitely would have vibed more with the East Coast.
Really?
Just coming from Tokyo, I think.
Okay.
But I am happy here. I like in hindsight, I don't regret anything. Although I just think as a person, I might have vibed more in New York.
Really? Okay.
But yeah, it was during that time where when we were starting to get like college acceptance decisions, that my dad sent me like a YouTube link to this like super, I think he had like 700 subscribers at the time. But this guy named Jiayang Liu. I forgot exactly
Full circle moment.
what the headline was, but it was like
like reaction video?
Yes, that one. So I watched that one. I watched the entire video.
Oh my
watched
God.
every single one of your reactions.
Uh-huh.
And then
It's crazy.
and I was like, wow, wait, so this guy's gonna be my future classmate. So I left a comment on the video. I don't know if you ever responded to it.
I definitely saw it if you commented, but I don't know if I responded.
And then I don't think it was right away, but I know I did cold DM you on Insta. I shot you a text. You can probably pull it up, but someday. And I think I said something along the lines of like, "Hey man, I watched your videos on YouTube. Thought they're like really cool. They inspired me. I just wanted to let you know like I want to be one of your classmates, and I can't wait to see you in the fall."
That's amazing.
What was your response?
Oh, let me
He
pull it
might
up.
have left me undelivered. You got too many. You got too many.
Guys, so I found this comment. He said, "Bro, your videos are so good. I got into USC for film production as well, so I'll see you there." And I replied immediately, actually, and I said, "Thank you so much. See you there."
That was dry as fuck, dude.
Okay, you're like a stranger at that point. You were one of the first people I met before coming to USC.
Oh
So
yeah.
do you plan on doing grad school, or you think, after film school, you want to go into the business?
I'd considered like AFI because it's supposed to be the #1 film school or grad school in the world, right? But I don't know what I'd be doing there besides procrastinating myself at least. Although I'm not to like hate on grad school, and I'm sure there's a lot to learn from there. Just I think personally, I could definitely see the comfort in still being in school and getting access to all these facilities and being able to make more films. And I see the appeal actually, and every day I still can, the closer I get to graduation, the more I think about whether or not I should, stick around for grad school, AFI, or even just, here, USC. But I think on the path I am right now, I'd want to go straight into the industry, preferably at like studio. I considered production companies. I'm still kind of weighing my options, talking to different people, talking to my bosses, professors about the way in. And I do know that it's like the industry isn't doing too well right now. But what is? And then all these fears about like AI taking over jobs, and then like how people say like it's super cutthroat and the barriers of entry are really high. That's all these fears, that made me consider maybe I'll feel a little safer if I stick with grad school.
That's kind of the same thought process that I had for a while, but I think I stuck with heading straight into the industry in whatever way possible. So I was wondering, what would be your sort of dream first job out of college if that was the path that you decided, like whether at a production company or studio, like what would you think you'd be doing? That would be a dream, but also realistic.
Okay, so like a realistic dream.
A realistic dream.
So realistic dream, then I would love to work at one of the big studios. I would say Warner, I think. Maybe Syncope.
Oh.
Hey. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, but they never have job listings.
Yeah, I do. I go on LinkedIn. It's dry. Yeah. It's just, I think it might just be Nolan and
His wife.
His
Emma
wife.
Thomas.
That's
I mean, there's also a realistic route of like, you guys know Max Salo. He was able to work, or he was able to crew, or I don't know by the time this video releases if he's still on it or not, but from at least this current moment in time, he's going to be able to crew on the Odyssey, Nolan's upcoming film, and that's like literally my dream.
I saw your LinkedIn post.
Yes, I posted on LinkedIn for those who don't know, and who want to check out my LinkedIn, it's Bien Bagui. But if there's any way anyone knows a way for me to hop on set, on Christopher Nolan's set, like the Odyssey, I will do anything. Right. I will sweep the floors. I will be a chair. I will hold
inanimate object.
I will be an inanimate object. I'll be a fucking C-stand. Like I will Hollywood the out of a flag if I have to. Yeah. I will be a sandbag. I weigh more sandbag anyway.
You cost more too.
No, I'd be free. I'd do it if it would let me, I think. But so I don't know.
Let's get Bien to the Odyssey, yeah?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Although I know that there's a way. Max Salo has done it. I think if you join the IMAX class, where you get to shoot on real 35 millimeter IMAX or 70.
I think
16 or
70 maybe. But I think he's
70.
I think he might be developing. He says he's developing some new technology with IMAX again after the black and white with Oppenheimer. But
I mean, sorry, I meant in USC.
Oh, USC. I think
lets you film.
It might be 16.
16.
I mean, it's still.
Still. Yeah.
It looks great. Yeah.
But I think through that, he was referred to like the IMAX, like the company, and then eventually like trickled down all the way to Nolan, and that's how he's working on set. So I mean, someone's done it before.
Yeah, dude, that's your idol, right? What's your favorite Nolan film?
Oh, Nolan. My favorite Nolan film, The Prestige. The
Hey, good
Prestige.
pick.
Yeah.
I like The Dark Knight.
Oh, The Dark Knight. You can't go wrong with The Dark
I
Knight.
gotta go with Memento.
Mm.
Very, very.
His trademark.
Have
I
either of
like
you watched The Following or
I
Insomnia?
have. I have.
I haven't
It's
watched
kind of Memento, but less,
Oh.
even less complicated, less
Have
complicated.
you guys seen Doodlebug?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got another one called the Spider something.
Yeah, he has a couple
Very
more short
experimental.
films.
I watched it.
Yeah.
It was very experimental.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
I think, yeah. The Odyssey is his first like fantasy movie, right?
I guess so.
The Prestige is kind of in that territory, but a lot of his stuff are, sci-fi and hardcore, science and future and all that. But now he's going towards mythology.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. I grew up reading like Percy Jackson, and
Yeah.
so
That's awesome.
I
bring out
had to
the
read the
sci-fi.
Odyssey in high school for English.
Yeah,
Too, so.
Homer's.
Yeah.
How do you
But-
think Nolan keeps his financials in check?
I know that he started off like as another college student. He didn't even study college. He studied English.
English, right? Yeah.
ICL or King's
I think UCL, right?
U-
University
UCL.
College London. Yeah.
UCL. I think he was with his wife at the time, and I think they might have produced their first feature together, which he also shot and edited. And then, you know what? That's a good question, but I can only.
I know he
I can
worked
only
in
imagine.
camera department at first. I think just shooting like commercials and TV ads and all that, and then he squabbled together like $8,000-$6,000 and shooting with friends on the weekends for following. And then I mean you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
It's more accessible now than ever than his time.
Oh yeah.
Def- oh, yeah.
Grab an iPhone, you
So,
can do the same, if not better. Yeah.
So I mean, because like the barriers of entry are so low now, do you think that makes competition amongst filmmakers or aspiring filmmakers harder?
Of course.
I think so.
Everyone's competing
Yeah.
for your attention at all times.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just film, it's like video.
Video,
it's
YouTube,
content.
TikTok, everything. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you think breaking out the same way like the oldies did is harder?
I think
now?
YouTube is such a strong, stuff like YouTube and TikTok. You have people, whoever directed the A24 horror movie Talk to Me. They were the directing duo. I think they were YouTubers, and then they started.
Oh, Talk to Me. Sorry.
Yeah,
Talk to
with the handshake and the stone thing.
Yes.
Oh, is that the one Lemont?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
There's
and
another
there's-
kid on YouTube.
Wesley Wang?
No.
No, it's
It's the
Kane
back
Parsons?
room.
Back
Oh,
room.
oh yes.
Yeah.
I
His
love
stuff
that
is
one.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's like some of the best horror ever.
It's so
and
good.
A24 scooped it, and it's I bet it's gonna be amazing.
You talked about LinkedIn earlier. How do you build such a big LinkedIn audience?
Oh,
'Cause you're kind of a celebrity on LinkedIn.
hey, I don't think so, but thank you.
Yeah.
I just, I happen to know a lot of my peers from back home, both like upperclassmen and underclassmen, all hopped on LinkedIn. So I already had that, kind of starter pack.
What's your approach to networking though?
I'm definitely more like a people in person. I like, being able to shake them in the hand, look them in the eye,
Firm handshake.
tell them my name is
Yeah.
Bien, like muy bien, and that usually earns me a LinkedIn connection.
Wonderful.
Sometimes, at our last DKA meeting, I was pitching myself as a production chair, and in the middle of my speech, I also shout out my LinkedIn and Vimeo, just like the same way I did earlier.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll get people, I'll see people follow me and connect with me on LinkedIn after that, surprisingly enough. And then just everyone I meet, I'll connect with them on LinkedIn just because, USC is a prestigious school. It's always good to connect with whoever you can. You never know where that connection might lead you. Sorry, and not to make it sound like I'm very conceited. I'm not just using people for connections.
Would
but I
you,
just,
if you meet a new person, do you usually go for the Instagram or the LinkedIn?
Well, if we're talking back in the day, I'd go for her LinkedIn or her number. Sorry, her Instagram or her number.
Yeah.
But if we're talking nowadays, because I'm taking, I go for their LinkedIn or Instagram.
Well, what do you go for first if you could get one?
Are we talking about like now or back then?
I'm talking about now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like, obviously, if you're in a professional setting, I think LinkedIn just feels more appropriate. Otherwise, like your number, at least, the very least, their email.
Let's say like a mixer, a SCA,
Oh,
SDA
for
mixer.
sure, like an Instagram, dude, or a number.
Number?
I can kind of gauge if they'd be the type for Insta number, but usually,
How do you gauge
almost
that?
everyone, I don't know, just by talking to them.
Instincts.
But everyone has a phone number, or almost everyone has a phone number. Like I know, like there's select few people who I know don't have any social media at all. In which case, like asking them for their Insta or their
Yeah.
Snap or I don't know,
No,
their MySpace.
For me, I always go for the Instagram first because I feel like Instagram gives like not just a professional, layout. It also is more personable.
Mm,
And then I would go for the LinkedIn the next time I meet them. And then number the next time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, Instagram's always like a good first step. I feel.
Yeah, because then
Instinctually,
yeah, maybe it's not so intimate at the same time. It kind of gives you a good idea.
Right.
In your life, what's the dumbest purchase you've made?
Dumbest purchase I made? I don't think I've made any dumb purchase. I'm a pretty smart man when it comes to my finances.
Okay.
Maybe some film equipment, perhaps.
Oh yeah.
Those are expensive.
Yeah, because like now I know that I don't really want a DP. Oh, I think that's also good. Like don't splurge too much on camera equipment. I mean, I guess like it's fine if you want to make your own videography stuff, but no need to buy yourself like all these lights. I think.
No, I get it. If you're not DPing, you don't need all that.
No
gear.
need for all that, that camera gear, unless you want to set up your own studio, or podcast.
Okay. No, all these gear we just source from friends. To be honest.
Yeah.
That C-stand is for the jam band. Actually, we just took it upstairs.
Really?
Yeah, I was from downstairs. Got the sticker.
It's we have a thesis
Albert.
film coming up soon, and the light stand that's currently being used is the one we're using. For
Wait, the same with the line.
Okay, beyond theoretically speaking, tomorrow, someone throws $1 million into down your chimney, not taxed.
Not taxed.
What would you?
Straight up, just
Just
cat
cash.
amount.
Is it
Cash.
trackable?
No.
Not trackable.
What would you spend it on if you had 24 hours to spend
It
on
simply appears.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would first. I'd take $10,000 of it, put it in my emergency fund. It's always important to have an emergency fund. And then I'd take $100,000 of, or let's say $90,000 of it, invest that into the S&P, right? And then with the remaining $900,000, let me think. I'd save. I'd take $100,000 of that, send it to my parents.
Thanks for paying 1 year of my tuition.
And then I take $50,000 of that, set that aside for, I don't know, marriage or something.
Okay.
Right. And with the remaining few $100,000, as a filmmaker, I'd probably either invest that into making my own short film, or I guess I could make a feature film with that amount of money, but it'd have to be like super micro budget.
Yeah.
But a lot of investing into my future as a filmmaker, either creating like a short or financing another short or feature that that would help me make those connections, get into the industry.
What would your first feature be?
I love genre films. I also love sci-fi, and I love thriller films. So something along the lines of that, something that I would really like, project to the world what my cinematic style is, while at the same time opening enough avenues for future projects.
Do you feel like you would lose purpose if you had so much money? Like if you didn't have to worry about money ever again, like would you still pursue film the same way you would?
I think so. I think, as like you learn with like 310, budget is definitely a very restricting obstacle in the creation of some films, but also gives you like the boundaries. And it allows you to use your creative juices in the limits and make something out of that, make the best of what you can, and that kind of challenges yourself, right? Which I think is good. But with that amount of money, I think definitely that would definitely be a reason why it's important to be able to know how to to manage your finances and not just like spend it on a yacht. So it's definitely important to know how to manage your finances, right? And just reinvest that into your future.
I think it's really
so you can keep doing what you want to love to do.
Yeah, I love what you said. I think on top of that, I think it's important to like really protect your money. Like, have you ever been scammed before?
I low-key think so. I've been applying to houses for the next academic year, and this one like rental company. Never
Shall remain nameless or no?
Yeah, I don't want to get sued. But
Would you want to stay in LA after?
I think realistically, I mean, this is where the heart of the industry is. Although it's kind of branching out across the states.
Yeah.
It's gone international. There's Canada. There's the Netherlands.
Right,
there's
Atlanta,
France. But like closer to home, Vegas. Was it Vegas or Arizona? Well, or Arizona or Nevada. They're building a new Sony Studios.
I think so. Yeah, Arizona. Yeah.
And then obviously Atlanta is another like decent hub for filmmaking. New York, obviously, for indie.
I do realize there's a trend where a lot of production companies are, filming outside of LA. Like they're filming in Romania, in Europe.
That has to do with like tax breaks.
Tax incentives, yeah.
Tax incentives,
that's
rather.
A part of it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know LA is gonna try to come up with incentives of their own to try to reel people back in. Especially because with the wildfires, people have been. There's been like a mass exodus.
It's been happening
from LA. Yeah. And it's been like
a lot of
exacerbated
issues,
by the fires.
It is, yeah, no, I agree. Like, it is the heart of the entertainment industry. Everyone is here. I drive to my internship, and it's like I just see Universal Studios, Netflix, everywhere just surrounding me, and it's like it's quite surreal. But it is where everything is. Every deal is done here. It's the best weather too.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoy this episode and learn a lot about the financials of being a film producer, director, and how to navigate the film world in film school and outside of film school.